to DIY Hair School, and on today's video, I'm going to talk to you about some of the reasons your curls might not be lasting while my curls set in my hot rollers. If you have fine hair, thin hair, one of the number one complaints I see on my content anytime I curl my hair is that your curls don't last, and I used to be this person. I know your pain. I used to put so much effort into curling my hair for my hair to literally be straight again 45 minutes later. And it was just, I was convinced that my hair couldn't be curled. There was no point in having my hair curled, and it didn't even really matter if I had it curled by a professional or if I did it myself. My curls were always falling out. If I had them done by a professional, they would definitely last longer, but it was never great. And now my curls basically last until I wash my hair again. They certainly don't look amazing every single day after they're done, once I've slept on them and whatnot, but they don't fall out. The number one reason your hair is probably not holding a curl is too much moisture in your hair. Moisture is the death of curls, okay? That's why when you go somewhere humid, I mean, I don't even attempt to curl my hair if I go to the Caribbean, because the second I walk outside, it's like nothing, because there's way too much moisture in the air, and my hair will not hold a curl with moisture. Fine hair types typically hold moisture. This is why our hair gets oily faster than people with drier, frizzier hair types, curly hair types, because their hair can absorb a lot of moisture. Their hair needs a lot of moisture. Their hair is naturally more dry. Our hair has a lot of moisture naturally, and because of that, the oil will sit on top of our hair strand. There's nowhere for it to penetrate because it's already full of moisture. Obviously, nobody wants dry hair, but when it comes to curls, you do need to dry your hair out a little bit. So that is why I always suggest, if you're gonna curl your hair, first of all, we always do it on clean hair. If you have fine hair, you're really not gonna get away with curling your dirty hair and it looking phenomenal and lasting a long time. That oil in your hair is moisture, and it's just gonna kill your curls. So if you wanna curl your hair, freshly washed and blow-dried hair is the best way to go. But using your regular shampoo probably isn't the best idea. I always suggest using a volumizing shampoo or a clarifying shampoo, because volumizing shampoo is designed to remove moisture from your hair to allow your hair to be more voluminous, because moisture also kills volume. So you want to reduce the amount of moisture in your hair by using a volumizing shampoo or a clarifying shampoo that will help to remove all of the excess oil, product, and just moisture in general from your hair. Always 2 to 3 shampoos as well to make sure that your hair is completely stripped of any buildup oil or moisture. And if you do really feel like you need to use a conditioner because your hair gets really tangly, a volumizing conditioner. Volumizing conditioners are designed to be light and then use the least amount of moisture, leave the least amount of moisture residue on your hair as possible. Stay away from any treatments, masks, heavy conditioners, anything like that. And if you can get away with it, just skip conditioner completely if you're going to curl your hair. Once you have washed your hair, you want to go in with more products that are going to help dry out your hair and promote volume. And so you're going to go for something like a volumizing mousse. This one is Plus Size by Amika. It's the one I used in my hair today. I have several that I use on a regular basis. You can find all of my favorite products in my Amazon storefront, and they are all products that I genuinely use on a regular basis. They're not just things I've thrown in there just for the sake of selling you stuff. I absolutely use them. I can show them to you in my house, in my salon right now, and they all work really, really well. I don't ever recommend products that I think don't work well for my hair type, which is probably your hair type. So volumizing mousse, again, is going to aid in the reduction of moisture in your hair, the promotion of volume, and a lot of these mousses also have holds. So you wanna make sure you not only get the mousse into your roots, but you kind of get it everywhere. And then you're gonna go in and blow dry the crap out of your hair. Just flip your head upside down and rough dry it until it is completely 100% bone dry. Allow your hair to cool. Feel it. If it feels even the slightest bit damp after you're done blow dry it some more, because if there's any moisture left in your hair, it will not hold the curl. Then you're going to go in with your curls, whether it's a curling iron, flat iron curls, hot rollers, it doesn't matter. Curl your hair and do not touch it until it is 100% cool. If your hair really, 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 really struggles with curls, hot rollers are a great way to go, because hot rollers, your hair is going to sit in the rolled shape, cooling down for a long period of time. Typically, it takes usually at least 20 to 30 minutes for them to cool, so your hair is going to have a long time to set. If you're using a curling iron or a wand or a flat iron, then you're going to curl and you're going to leave your curls to sit, just hanging. I do recommend, if you know how, to wrap up your curls and pin them so that they're going to set similarly to if you did hot rollers. But if you can't manage that, in the very least, do not touch them, because your hair can mold its shape while it's warm. That's how we create the curls. We use heat to change the shape of our hair. Well, while that hair is still hot, we can start to change the shape. So if we start pulling out our curls too soon while the hair is still warm, you are going to lose some curls. So do not touch it. Let it cool completely. Leave it alone for as long as humanly possible. If you do use your fingers to pull out your curls, make sure your hands are dry and clean and there's no oil products or smoothing products on your hands at all. If you have to, you can use an anti-frizz product, but if you've used heat to curl your hair, that should have taken away most of the frizz for you anyways. So I really suggest avoiding any smoothing products at all in your hair when you pull your curls out, and just letting those any frizz settle on its own. Another great suggestion is just to pull your curls out with a wide tooth comb, but do make sure it's clean. If you use a dirty hairbrush like this, that's full of old hair and product and probably grease from brushing my 3-day-old dirty hair, then you're gonna brush all that oil from your comb back into your hair, adding moisture, dropping your curls. A great finishing product for your curls when you struggle with retention is a dry texturizing spray. I suggest the dry texturizing spray over a dry texturizing just poof powder, because typically the sprays have more hold factor than just the poofs, where the poofs usually just give you a little bit of volume. They're great for your roots, but maybe not as much for holding curls. So I do prefer the sprays. I don't have it in front of me, but my favorite is the Surfer Girl dry texture spray from Sexy Hair. It is in my Amazon storefront. That is my go-to. It never fails me, and it's going to dry out your hair. And I mean, yes, your hair will feel dry to the touch, but it's gonna look amazing. Your curls are gonna last. It's got hold like a hairspray, but it comes out like a powder, sort of like a dry shampoo and a hairspray had a baby. It works amazing. And if you do all of that, your curls are likely going to last really well for you. Now, if you do all that and your curls are still falling out, that's okay. Persist. Your hair just still has too much moisture, and it can take time. It can take more than one time to kind of change the balance of your hair. And there's nothing wrong with having a lot of moisture in your hair, but if you have fine, thin hair, a lot of moisture is going to translate to really flat, shiny, hard to do anything with it hair. So it's really up to you. If you want to start to create a little bit more volume, a little bit more fluffiness, a little bit more oomph and curl and texture to your hair, you're gonna have to pull some of that moisture out of your hair to make your hair more manageable for those styles. But it definitely can take more than one time. It will take more than one time if your hair is excessively moist and has a lot of oils and products, and you know, it just depends on what you've been using in your hair. I can't tell you how long it took me to get from a place where my hair was just flat and limp and never got volume and never held the volume I blow dried in and never held the curls I did, to now. It's been a process, and I have just been persistent, and here I am, and my hair is very cooperative and typically does whatever I want it to do and stays however I place it. So be persistent and you will get there. These tips are also great if you're someone that finds that you absolutely cannot put any product whatsoever in your hair without your hair going limp and dirty looking. Well, that probably just means either you're using too much product, or if you're using the smallest amount of product and that's still happening, well, again, there's just too much moisture, there's too much product buildup, there's just too much happening in your hair. You need to strip that hair down a little bit and allow your hair strands to absorb some of the products and whatnot that you're putting on in a way that they are meant to, as opposed to sitting on top of your hair, constantly making your hair flat and greasy. I hope that helps. If you have any more questions about making your curls last or how to reduce the moisture in your hair, let me know in the comments. Subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos, because I do post every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on YouTube, and I post every day on my Instagram and my TikTok, DIY Hair School. Bye, guys.